Alright everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NIO, NIO Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So NIO Inc. did the consolidation phase here before running up. Today was a very bullish run and a massive bullish opportunity here where the bulls continue to pull this up deeper into bullish territory. I kept stating in the near days, in the next coming days and weeks, to keep an eye on that 54.20, 54.18 give or take point, because if that got broken through, this would start to see newer highs, new resistance levels, and continue to run up. So super important point to keep in mind and have watched. Now, it dipped down after those highs, and I kept stating that down here at that $40 mark and $38 mark to pay close attention to if this was going in the other direction. Now, it certainly went in the upward direction, and the bulls have dominating this. Now, this consolidation phase was a little bit more volatile than the previous ones when you look at the chart's history, but the bulls did manage to come through and continue to bring this up to newer highs. So now that they've broke through the $54 mark, what is our next resistance level? Well, it's actually sitting on it. The highest point reached was just reached in the last 30-minute time frame, and it's the $57 mark. So let's go ahead and move our resistance and support to their new location. So we want to pay close attention to these numbers here and also see our support. So there was no drop of bear throughout the whole entire chart today. The bulls actually dominated this. What does that mean for us as investors? Well, we need to be very cautious tomorrow of watching what's going on, how quickly this is turning in the other direction, or do the bears slightly appear and this support is used by the bulls to continue to bounce up to reach newer highs. There could be some profit taking, don't get me wrong, but this isn't supposed to just disappear all these gains that quickly. This is about 50 to 60% of those gains on the way up and then also on the way down. So this is close to that 50 to 60% range of these gains, which the gains started way down here. Now, it's going to be super important to keep in mind though that if it breaks through this support, you're still in bullish territory. And I want every single investor to keep in mind that $57, I know it says 57.01 because that's the placement, but then it shows you 57 here, but $57 is the highest valuation NIO has ever hit, and it's going to be super important for the bulls to break through that, because if they don't, this 50-day moving average will catch up to the price fairly quickly, getting this back into bearish territory or getting it pretty close to the point where the bulls can lose control, which today the bulls did not allow that to happen. They actually bounced away from that and reached newer highs. So super important for the bulls to break through $57, turn that into a support to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. Now, as I stated last week, could I see this hitting the $50 mark? We were really close, and it certainly did. Now, could it hit the $60 mark? That's the question. Now, that's the next pivotal moment. I look forward to seeing your guys' comments down below now that we're making it this far into these price points that a lot of people and a lot of analysis and analytics have actually stated, right? And all these predictions that are happening. We hit the $40 mark, and then it got bumped up by a lot of analysts and experts to $50. We've broken through 50 and it fell quickly back down, right? And could history repeat itself, right? At the point where we're at now at $57, could that history repeat itself? Or obviously that history happened. Obviously, okay, there was an article on shorting and all that fun stuff, but could it repeat itself? I still just question it. And I just want to see what you guys think. If you guys don't believe it will repeat itself, I'll gladly take those comments, because everybody's feedback and also perception or perspective on the chart is welcome. I encourage that. I love that. I love engaging in conversation with you guys, and also when you guys speak with one another and share your point of view on what you see and how bullish or bearish you're feeling. That's awesome. That's what this community is all about. It's not just my voice and me speaking about these numbers on the chart, but also you guys have a voice and have an opportunity to express yourselves. But could history repeat itself? I don't think it will be this significant because that's because of that article. But I do believe that some profit taking could arise. If it's not tomorrow, probably soon, because this is a big run here. And also, now that we've broken through, like I stated, the $40 mark, they got bumped up to 50. Some people were saying 60. I recall that. And I think that's reasonable. But now after 60, then you start hearing the 100, 150, and then you hear the 200. I would love to see what you guys believe and which category of those predictions or analysis or outlooks do you stand on. I'm pretty reasonable to think that 60 is possible. I just don't know how much further above 60. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but towards January and then NIO Day and all those catalysts coming up towards that time, I can see some volatility due to the market itself, but I can see this continuing to work its way up to newer highs. I just don't know if it's going to stay above those highs for very long. And that's probably one of the most important things to keep in mind, because earnings, yes, it's coming up next year. I'm not talking about this year's earnings or the earnings to come or so forth. Like, I don't want to go ahead and have people thinking about these year's earnings. Like, I'm talking about all the way until next year's earnings and how will that affect the stock. Because right now there's a lot of great catalysts, there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of great things going on with NIO, but earnings next year, could it add up to the price that the stock is worth and the valuation of the company? Because you got to think about it, how many units are they really selling and how much revenue is actually coming in. I think it's all possible, that it can continue to hold itself up. But I think that the strongest catalysts are from now towards, obviously, NIO Day, because that's going to be a big deal. And could this break through $60? I sure believe it can. I think that's reasonable. Now, how much further above that? I'm not sure. But that's why there's those people saying $100 to $150. And I look forward to seeing how many of you guys are feeling the same way, how bullish you guys are about it. It's all possible, but we're going to have to watch this chart closely. Now, as I stated, our resistance is $57. It's exactly where it's at. That needs to be broken through to continue the run. And it can work its way up closer to 60, right? Now, on the other hand, this is one of the points where the bears tried to appear and stop this from continuing the run. So this point right here is super important to keep in mind and pay close attention to if the volatility takes it in that direction. Now, you're still in bullish territory as long as we're above the 50-day moving average, which is 51.12. I advise every single investor to write that down. I can't land exactly on it. It's jumping around, but 51.12 is super important. It lets us know on what side of the chart we're in. We're currently in bullish territory when we're above it, and when you're below it, you're in bearish territory. Now, this point of reference in between gives you the window to see from support 53.35 all the way down to the 50-day moving average to see if the bulls are trying to reappear or are the bears tearing this one down fairly quickly. I hope that with these cues, you guys are well equipped for tomorrow's trading day. Pay close attention to the resistance it needs to be broken through and the support, and see how quickly the stock is moving down, or are the bulls trying to reappear. And if you learned something new and found this helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. And guys, comment down below. I look forward to seeing your guys' answers and comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.